Hello everyone, welcome to Rahu Mahadasha, a video in which I hope to allay your fears regarding this 18-year period. Rahu is more feared perhaps even than Shani Mahadasha. What does he have in store for you? On this video I have all the details of who Rahu really is, what his real spiritual and material agenda is for you. Also details according to sign of Rahu and Lagna also. If you are new to my channel, sub below. Let's begin. So who exactly is Rahu and how will he manifest in his 18-year Mahadasha in our life? To understand this, we have to explore a little bit of depth in the story of the churning of the ocean of milk. So you may know of this story, but what I intend to show you here is a little known secret of who Rahu Ketu really are. This is not talked about enough and it needs to be understood because this explains so much of what happens to us in Rahu Mahadasha. When the nectar of immortality came forth at the end of the churning of the ocean, it was meant only for the pure beings, for the Devatas, but the Asuras wanted it also. So therefore the Supreme Person Vishnu manifested himself as a beautiful female Mohini. She was able to enchant the Asuras by her dancing. Meanwhile, the Devatas were able to take of this nectar. One of these Asuras, though, known as Swabhanu, noticed what was going on and he disguised himself as a Devata and he was actually able to drink a drop of this nectar of immortality before the sun and moon demigods alerted Mohini, who immediately decapitated him. So here we see a beautiful illustration of Swabhanu's execution by Mohini. And what is the great secret here is this. Because normally when any living being is killed by Vishnu, they will merge into the body of Vishnu and attain eternal liberation. But Swabhanu has taken that drop of nectar, which is all part, of course, of Vishnu's actual pastime, that he will stay in this disembodied form as a decapitated being, if you like, in shadow form, but for a very important purpose. He is to be part of the liberation of living beings in this world, because only a liberated being can liberate you. Now, we all know that Ketu, the actual decapitated body itself, is going to take us out of this material world. We know that Ketu gives moksha. But what is not understood, everyone, is that Rahu is also here to liberate you. But just as Ketu has the keys out of the jail, he will open the door to liberation, Rahu has the key to keep you in here until you are ready to be liberated. So Rahu is like a prison officer. He is here to make sure that you are purified enough to be liberated. So, but ultimately both Rahu and Ketu are one purpose, and that is to liberate us from material suffering. So that is a very important and deep understanding, I think, that we all have to see. So what actually is Rahu's purpose and agenda in Mahadasha? Knowing as we do his spiritual purpose now, it becomes a lot clearer to understand. Rahu is going to tempt us with the material Maya to make sure that we are ready to be passed over to Ketu to attain liberation. So for most of us, this is a continual cycle of rebirth in which Rahu will give you your desires and show you the futility of attaining them. That's the basic factor. So many people seem to have the idea that Rahu is going to give you great things but then take them away at the end of Rahu Mahadasha. But I've not seen that so much. But what I have seen is that Rahu will give you things and show you the real factor of illusion behind them. So you've got a dream job. Rahu can give you that sometimes in this Mahadasha, but you might not lose it by the end. What you will do, though, is see it in a much more clearer light. It won't seem to have given you all of the things that you would have thought it was, because ultimately this is all Maya illusion. So Rahu will give you great things, great status, great power. He will give you the world, in fact, but at the end you will see it to be illusion. That is his job. So in this way, everyone, seeing the ruthlessness of Rahu and following his job description, and he will do in a most clear-cut way, are there any remedial measures we can put into play right away? Indeed there are. Apart from Saturday evening prayer, meditation, because that is Rahu time, a very important factor was laid bare by Pandit Sanjay Rath recently. Rahu, good karma, is created by kindness and care for non-humans, just like Ketu and just like actually Shani. So we have to be very careful how we are treating non-human beings. And there's my cat to say, most definitely we do. And indeed, how to avoid negative Rahu karma is actually about deception. When we deceive others, when we are not honest, when we are not above board and truthful, these are the actions that lead to the most negative Rahu karma. So keeping those two factors in mind, kindness to animals, avoiding deception, we can make our way through this Rahu Dasha. And during this time, I'm going to show you some of the most important factors that everybody will meet in this 18-year period, regardless of sign and house placement. Now, the first trick in Rahu's book is always to take us somewhere new and exciting. Do you know that Rahu actually rules aeroplanes? Rahu is going to take you far and wide from where you have normally experienced life. This is the desire he will implant in your mind, and you just have to go with this, because foreign places, foreign peoples, new cultures, new experiences are absolutely coming into everybody's life in some shape or form in this Mahadasha. This is Rahu's definite purpose, to take you to a future situation. Ketu is past, Rahu is future. Rahu will show you the new, always the new, because he cannot tempt you with the past. He can only tempt you with brand new situations. And also, there's another reason for this. When we go somewhere new, when we are somewhere fresh, where we are inexperienced and naive, we make mistakes. This is what Rahu is waiting to see. How many mistakes will you make? How will you do things which are not ethical? How will you try to get yourself out of a tricky situation? You're not going to get that in your own home. So he's going to move you into a new place with obstacles and difficulties to overcome. So this is why many people end up in a foreign situation or in a completely different workplace, sometimes different relationships. I'll be talking about those in a minute, but most definitely Rahu's whole agenda is to move you to the new. So expect to be on the move, most definitely. Mental state in Rahu Mahadasha is important to discuss, because this is perhaps the most difficult factor for people to deal with. As you go through the Mahadasha, you'll see more and more how you're perhaps not the person you were before, because Rahu is a head without a body. Rahu is obsessive about everything he does, and he is completely unsatiated. So nothing satisfies. Everything you try is never quite what you thought it would be, and in the end all sorts of doubts and confusions come to you. Most people spend the majority part of this Mahadasha in a state of confusion. Even if they are super successful, there is always a doubt and anxiety at the back of their mind. So mental health really suffers. There can even be, in some individuals, actual mental disorders developing. I've seen this. OCD, obsessions, factors like a deep depression can come to mind. But if you do get into that, of course, you need to get some help with that medically. But the most important thing to do in Rahu Mahadasha is to try some form of mental calming. Mindfulness, meditation, all of these things are absolutely needed, because Rahu's mind never stops. Rahu is never ever in a calm state, and we need to have that, because Rahu's tests and Rahu's hurdles demand that we at least have some form of mental peace. Rahu can have quite an interesting impact actually on one's appearance. I've seen people become almost disheveled in this Mahadasha. It's like the most smartest people all of a sudden just can't keep their act together in how they appear. It's all to do with Rahu's destabilizing aspect. So expect that some factors of your appearance will change. One of the most common things is hair. A very strong difficulty keeping hair in place, having hair look stylish if you like. So if you get a new haircut in this Mahadasha, I'm telling this to the ladies, but also maybe the gentlemen too, don't get a very complicated style. It's very likely that you won't be able to keep it as neat as it first appears. Nail problems, skin problems, all sorts of personal hygiene problems can occur. Rahu is just going to get you into that little bit of a lackadaisical attitude. He can make you very lazy as well. If you've been a real fitness fanatic, that can go to pot. You can just lose your routine. So Rahu is going to change appearance, sometimes negatively, but sometimes also you can become obsessed with your appearance and gain addiction to going to the gym, food addictions, diet addictions. Whatever it is, it will be extreme. There's no middle ground. Home life is most certainly going to be changed in this 18-year period. Almost everybody relocates or at least has major renovations to their home. You see, Rahu is going to impact most strongly right in front of you where you live. Strange things can occur, like cracks appear in the walls that didn't seem to be there before. There can be an awareness of strange smells and all sorts of factors. Animals, small creatures moving into the vicinity of your home can cause all sorts of anxiety. It's a test. It's a definite test for your ethical treatment of these small unwelcome visitors. I've seen this happen, and it's also an extreme test of, will you finally let go of the past? You see, Rahu ultimately wants to make you declutter. So if you've been looking to declutter, to sort out your home, then you've got a welcome time period here. Rahu will definitely help you. But if you've been resisting, clinging on to anything or to anybody from your past, Rahu is going to make sure that you completely let go. So it's a time for absolute renewal in your home life. Relationships in Rahu Dasha are of tremendous importance, depending on age and circumstance, etc. But Rahu is the ultimate in the unexpected. Even at an age when you might think relationships are finished for you, Rahu can bring relationships later in life, if actually seen, because you see, Rahu is very much akin to Venus. So Rahu is able to bring the unexpected, to bring something that you would never have thought was possible. But here's the thing about Rahu and relationships. It's always a test of honesty and being above board. As I've said, those are the most important karmas Rahu is testing you for. In fact, even if a relationship actually breaks down in this Mahadasha, I have seen people gain actual success in a future relationship very, very quickly and have really overcome great heartbreak even, because Rahu will declutter from your life things which have outlived their purpose. But in general though, Rahu is not bringing divorce. Rahu is not bringing separation of himself. He is just testing you for honesty and openness on all fronts. So career and status in Rahu Mahadasha, no planet will give you the success that Rahu can. It's absolutely a fact. And if Rahu is well placed and is good for you, then especially, of course, D10 has to be seen, you will definitely get superb success. I mean, many people have gained superb and incredibly unexpected success, which they could never have dreamt was going to be theirs in this Mahadasha. Margaret Thatcher, a Prime Minister, UK, never thought that she could become Prime Minister. No woman had ever achieved it, but she did in Rahu. Donald Trump, at the very end of Rahu Mahadasha, the very tail end, Rahu Mars, he won the presidency. Whether he expected to or not, nobody else did, most people didn't, and he achieved something incredible. So Rahu will give you incredible success, but Rahu can also take it away. Be very clear, the greatest falls can also come in Rahu Mahadasha, where you fall from that high status and you lose that career maybe, or you lose what you've gained so quickly. So the most important thing is to avoid the temptation for unethical behavior. I know I've said it a few times, but guys, this is it really. This is what Rahu is going to do. He's going to tempt you. And if you can stay ethical, not become puffed up, full of yourself, proud of yourself, Rahu can maintain status for you. Do not fear. And if you are having a lot of trouble finding a job, finding career, just stay patient. There will always be some opening in this 18-year period. But as I say, according to your personal karmas, Rahu will test you again and again, and avoid any temptation to take the easy route. Work hard. Remember, Rahu is so akin to Lord Shani. He demands tremendous hard work. If you do that and stay ethical, it'll be fine. Wealth and money concerns loom large in Rahu Mahadasha, because this is the great Maya of the material world, isn't it? How much have I got? How much power have I got? Just like I was talking about career and status, be very clear that Rahu will tempt you with unethical methods of gaining wealth. It doesn't matter what you do for a living, a little shortcut here, a little trick there, it will occur to you, and you must stay calm and not go that way. People have gained those speculative gain in this Mahadasha for sure. People get rich, mega rich, but people can also lose a lot of money. It's a definite up and down roller coaster. Whatever your personal karma is, it's never steady. Nothing stays the same. So what Rahu wants to see you do is not to become tempted to unethics. If you can stay calm about loss, and remember that everything is going to go in the end, that you can't hold on to anything, Rahu, even when you seem at your worst place, can replenish everything overnight in the wink of an eye. Remember that. He can actually do magic. Rahu is a trickster, but he's also a magician. And he's testing you if you will stay ethical and avoid at all costs deception when you are looking to increase assets. Most important lesson. So whether you experience Rahu Mahadasha early in life or late in life makes a little bit of a difference. Rahu early in life, in your childhood, you'll experience all of these foreign factors, moves, instability through your parents' life. If you are in your 20s, 30s, Rahu is really going to test you. It can be as though it's impossible to find your feet because you lack the maturity, and Rahu has you. Rahu is really getting hold of you to test you by trial and tribulation. You have to hang on very tight. It's a mighty roller coaster when you are young for sure. But again, you have to check in your personal chart. Middle age is probably a good time to have Rahu Mahadasha because you have the maturity behind you. You have the experience to see maybe illusion when it is right in front of you. But even then, Rahu is an expert trickster. When you have Rahu Mahadasha at a much older age, it can be very interesting to see how you deal with that. You see, you may have been taking a spiritual path and you get to your 60s, 70s and Rahu arrives. My goodness, all sorts of temptations can occur that you would never have imagined, but not always the case, because if you have Rahu later in life, it can be the greatest gift of wisdom. As I say, because Rahu will enlighten you and enable you to enlighten others. Rahu late in life can make you a great teacher to others also. Another factor to watch out for, everybody, is the 6th and 8th year of the Mahadasha itself are known to be troublesome. They create those tensions and changes which you've been trying to avoid. Everything becomes in a crisis point during these times, but still, they will definitely send you in that new direction. In addition to those 2 years, everybody, pay a special attention to the Bhukti of Rahu sign lord. In other words, the dispositor of Rahu. Say you have Rahu in Taurus, then Venus. Rahu Venus will be so important. New people, new situations, relationships maybe, career, big moves and big changes happen there. But equally as important, not to be lessened in any way, some people say even more important, but I would say equally, is the Bhukti of the Nakshastra Lord. So say that Taurus Rahu is in Rohini, then the moon, Rahu moon period, will be equally important for you, equally a karmic turning point. So I hope that you keep those in mind, because otherwise you will miss those signposts of change in your life. Finally, the gift of Rahu is always wisdom, great wisdom. Through the trials and tribulations, through the ups and downs, the joys and the lows, you will gain experience of life which prepares you most definitely for Jupiter Mahadasha. Don't forget, this is the wisdom to help you get free from this material entanglement, the wisdom of the Maya of life, and how everything is superficial, doesn't last long. At the end of Rahu, you will definitely understand this. And therefore, when you get the gift of Jupiter Mahadasha, you will be able to make the most of that time. Next point, everybody, is how to judge Rahu in your own chart. How do you judge to get the most insight into your personal karmas in this long 18-year period? Now, to understand Rahu's impact in Mahadasha, really and truly, you have to look in every single Varga chart, at least in the D9, D10, additional to D1. But here are 4 simple steps that you can take straight away in your D1 that will most definitely clarify for you what to expect. The first factor is, of course, house position of Rahu. Now, I have a full playlist on my channel, and the link is below, in which I have every house position explained together with an explanation of the Mahadasha experience. Check that out. Additionally, check the sign position. Now, on this video in a minute, I will go through a little bit of detail of how sign position will affect you. Rahu's sign position will actually show how well you will deal with these changes. It's not so much what's going to happen as how well you will be able to manage those changes. But the very key predictive factors for timing are the sign and house of the dispositor and the ruler of Rahu Nakshastra. Let me show you. Because Rahu is a shadow planet, he takes on the actual characteristics of those grahas he is associated with, either by conjunction or by aspect. But particularly in Mahadasha, we need to see what is the sign and house of the dispositor. So let's say Rahu is in Scorpio. Where is Mars? What house? That house will become predominant in this Mahadasha, but equally so, the ruler of the Nakshastra. So say that Scorpio Rahu is in Vishaka. So Jupiter's house position will become equally important to note. So let's have a quick look then at Rahu by sign, because as I say, Rahu's sign will definitely show us how you will deal with many of these Mahadasha impacts. So if you have Rahu in the earth signs such as Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, this is very fortunate. You will find that Rahu, which is an actual head with no body, becomes actually grounded in these earth signs. And this will give you an ability to deal with the ups and downs, to deal with the topsy-turvy nature. You won't be thrown off course so much, particularly in Taurus. Rahu is superb here because he gains enormous stability, and in Virgo he becomes very ingenious, but also he is able to see behind some of that illusion. He won't cloud your mind so much. You won't be tricked so easily. So Rahu in Capricorn also also is very good for the long haul because it's a Shani sign, and Rahu has a lot in common with Saturn, as I've just been discussing. He wants hard work, he wants application, so these are favorable signs. Now, the fire sign position of Rahu is going to cause you some problems, Mahadasha, because Rahu is insatiable and fire doesn't stop burning, right? So you are endlessly moving from one thing to another. It's a very restless, changeable Mahadasha. It's hard to ground yourself. It's hard to find any stability, particularly Aries. Leo can find stability, but Leo gets puffed up, gets really into the ego factor, and this can cause real problems. Sagittarius, though, is not too difficult in some way. In fact, Parashara says that a Sagittarius Rahu is excellent in Mahadasha. Why is this? Because Jupiter is the only planet who can control Rahu. If you have Rahu in earth signs, once again, in any Varga chart, it's going to help you in that area in Mahadasha. Gemini is considered by some to be exaltation, Mercury-led, and Libra, Venus-led. These are friends to Rahu. So you gain ability to see through that fog, to have an intuition of what to do. You are particularly good at dealing with problematic situations, and you often come out on top. Particularly Libra deals with relationships very deftly in this Mahadasha if there are not ill aspects there to Rahu. Aquarius is Rahu's own sign, so obviously this gives you much power in this Mahadasha. Rahu in water signs is generally thought to be misplaced because of the excessive emotion, and it's bad enough with the smoke of Rahu in your mind, but then you have emotion, it can be overwhelming. But let me tell you, this is not the case. At least it's definitely not the case in Mahadasha. What's happening is you are able to fire ahead if you have a well-placed Rahu here. Parashara says very clearly, Rahu in Cancer, Rahu in Scorpio, well placed, e.g. 3rd, 6th, 11th house, well aspected, is going to give you major success and major wealth, and goodness knows, but just generally it's going to take you to a whole new state of being. It's enormously successful. He doesn't mention Pisces Rahu, but Pisces is again Jupiter led, so Jupiter will contain some of the worst aspects of this Mahadasha because he will help you to stay ethical. Hopefully you will stay on that ethical plane and all will be well. Water signs are very sensitive. They are less likely to make wrong decisions in this Mahadasha. Finally, let's see how we can judge Rahu Mahadasha by your Ascendant. Now, this is a Lagna in your D1 chart, but also in the Varga charts. Check all of those important charts like D9, D10, minimum, and other Vargas too, because that Ascendant will have a major impact on how Rahu is going to affect you, regardless of which house sign he's in. You just have to look at the Ascendant because Rahu co-lords Aquarius, and there is a lot to learn here. Let's see. So if you have Aries Lagna, this is one of the most difficult placements of Lagna for Rahu. It's probably the most. So you have to exercise extreme caution and avoid impulsive action at all times. Why? Because Aquarius is in your 11th house. And more than that, this is a Badaka house for Aries Lagna. So because Aquarius or Rahu rules your 11th house in this Mahadasha, you can find many obstacles. You just really have to avoid impulsive action because this will definitely lead to brick walls in front of you, because Badaka means obstacles coming up. So caution is needed in any Varga chart where you see Aries Lagna in Rahu Mahadasha. Now, in your birth chart with Taurus rising, or in any Varga chart where Taurus is Lagna, you're going to get a little bit of help here because Rahu is friendly to your ruler Venus, and indeed he rules your 10th or Kendra house. So career matters can benefit in a huge way, sometimes unexpected way, wherever there is Taurus Lagna. Also, relationships because of Venus can be benefited for many of you also. Now, when you have Gemini rising or Gemini in any Varga chart, Rahu Mahadasha is also benefited here because Mercury is a friend to Rahu. Rahu co-rules your 9th house, so many foreign opportunities, higher education, and all aspects of relationship with your father can often benefit in this Mahadasha. Now, for Cancer Lagna in your birth chart or any Varga chart, Rahu Mahadasha in that area is going to be a bit troublesome because Moon, Rahu are not friends to each other. And Aquarius is, of course, in the 8th house, where you can expect some business problems or unexpected events, money issues, so on. So Cancer Lagna struggles and has to have extreme caution, especially business and especially in regard to money investments. Extreme caution needed there. Now, for Leo Lagna, Leo is a very strong rising sign, but the sun is not a friend to Rahu, and Rahu rules or co-rules your 7th house of relationships, contract, business, and marketplace. So expect in all of those areas to be dramatic changes and ups and downs, relationship instability sometimes, but again, you have to see sign placement, etc. Definite business changes, definite work-based, market-based changes also. So Virgo rising in your birth chart or maybe Varga chart is very fortunate for Rahu Mahadasha. Mercury is a great friend to Rahu, and the 6th house is a very good house for Rahu to deal with. Rahu deals with your secret enemies, your open enemies. Rahu deals with litigation. Rahu deals with conflict, and you come out on top. Expect relationship issues many times because this is the 12th house to your 7th house, but even there you come out as a winner in these situations. It's all round normally very favorable indeed. If you have Libra, Lagna, or in any Varga chart Libra, this is most helpful for Rahu Mahadasha. Rahu is a great friend to Venus, and you find that you are able to get on top of many difficult factors in your life. It may be very up and down, but in the end, you come out as a real winner in this Mahadasha. Particularly education is so favored. Children, everything to do with children favored. All forms of creativity also. You will also find that if you never see Shani in your lifetime, you've never seen Shani Mahadasha, Rahu will actually act as your yoga karaka because Rahu Vut Shani. Rahu is very similar to Shani. He will take the place of your yoga karaka and take you to greatness in his Mahadasha. It's all round favorable. So if you have Scorpio Lagna or Scorpio in any Varga chart, you are actually capable of transforming yourself in a major way in this Mahadasha because Rahu is ruler of your 4th house in Aquarius here. And although Rahu is not so friendly to Mars, Rahu gains strength by Kendra lordship here. So for sure, your life is going to change in a mega way, particularly in your domestic life, in your family life, in your home life. Moves, renovations, everything's going to be churning there. It's going to be very, very changeable. But even though you dislike change, you are capable of great transformation. So you are letting go of the old. For absolute certain, Scorpio Lagna, Rahu Mahadasha is turning away from the past, turning away from the old, and absolutely changing the absolute foundation of your life. But this is not something negative. As I say, look to sign placement and all of those dispositors I've been discussing on this video. Now, for Sagittarius Lagna or for Sagittarius in any of the Varga charts, this is quite an exciting Mahadasha in some ways. You enjoy change, stimulation, novel situations. So you can expect that you will be going to new places, meeting new people almost every year of this Mahadasha. Non-stop change, non-stop stimulation. Because Aquarius is your third house and Rahu rules here with Shani. But Jupiter is able to control the excesses of this Rahu. So you will actually gain enormous skill, enormous wisdom and insight in this Mahadasha. There may be some issues with your siblings, family members that can become really contentious, but still you will overcome those. It's a generally fortunate sign. So if you have Capricorn Lagna or Capricorn as any Varga chart Lagna, expect definite monetary and financial concerns to come to the fore in regard to that area of life. You're going to be a little bit destabilized by this for sure, but Capricorn ruled by Shani deals well with these second house matters. So over time you will stabilize any early upsets. What you have to watch out for is actually how you are speaking in this Mahadasha. This is the house of our speech, and Rahu can really give you upset through words which you say. So watch your speech, watch how you affect others, definitely in speech. Family concerns also are going to come to the fore, and family upsets are definitely going to be there. But again, Capricorn is an earth sign capable of stabilizing these. So over time you will stabilize very early upsets because they tend to happen early on in this Mahadasha. Check for your sign, of course, of Rahu, house and aspects, but on the whole, Capricorn can deal well with the roller coaster of Rahu, definitely. Now, with Aquarius Lagna in your birth chart, you're most definitely going to be completely turned upside down by Rahu Mahadasha, but in a good way, because Aquarius is the actual sign of Rahu. Rahu has co-rulership here, so any Varga chart with Aquarius Lagna is going to be benefited in some way by Rahu, but it's going to change because Aquarius is always about some element of leaving past behind. There's a little bit of loss associated with this sign. It's a very karmic sign indeed. So there's going to be a leaving of the past behind, and even who you are behind. I've seen Aquarius Lagna, Rahu Mahadasha can give you a new insight into who you really are, so that you transform yourself. Even how you look to the world can become transformed. So it's a definite revolution in any area of your life where you have Aquarius Lagna in Rahu Mahadasha. If you have Pisces rising in your birth chart or Pisces on any Varga Lagna, you have a very special situation here because Aquarius is a ruler of the 12th house here. Therefore, it's not going to be an easy Mahadasha for sure, because you will be forced into introspection. You'll be forced into a little bit of isolation. You'll be forced into some way of getting away from your normal social environment, family even. Very often this is a definite indication of change of location, also into foreign land. So Pisces, because of your nature of fluidity, you must go with the flow of this Rahu. It's going to take you to the heights and then down to the depths, up and down all the time. It's a bit like a river current going up and down like this, but you are the fishes. You can flow with this. But what you will definitely also get, you will get insight spiritually. Rahu Mahadasha is going to favor your spiritual life. And since your whole purpose with Pisces Lagna is to have enlightenment, is to gain spiritual insight, my goodness, you will get your greatest insights, your greatest wisdom in this Mahadasha. So I hope you enjoyed that video and gained much insight into Rahu Mahadasha. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to sub below, and coming up soon as always, new videos on Vedic and indeed all astrology. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.